Hi friends! Today I have a good night story for you, and it's about two animal friends who decide to have a sleepover. So we're going to read and find out what happens at their first sleepover. It's called Franklin Has a Sleepover, and it's written by Brenda Clark. This is Franklin, and he is a turtle who lives with his turtle parents. Franklin can count by twos and tie his shoes. He could zip zippers and button buttons. He could even sleep alone inside of his small dark shell. So Franklin thought he was ready for his first sleepover. He asked his mom if Bear could stay overnight. "All right," said Franklin's mother, "but where will Bear sleep?" Franklin's shell was too small for a turtle and a bear. "We could sleep in the living room," suggested Franklin, "and we could have a campfire outside." "And wait a minute," said Franklin's mother, "you haven't even asked Bear yet." So here's Franklin's living room, and that's the kitchen where he and his mom are eating breakfast. Bear did a happy dance after Franklin called. "May I please go?" he asked. His parents worried that the two friends would keep each other awake all night. "We'll sleep," promised Bear. Then they wondered if he would feel homesick, if he would miss his mom and dad. "Not me," said Bear. So his parents said yes. Bear called Franklin. I can come," he shouted. Franklin could hardly wait. Bear wouldn't arrive until after supper, and Franklin had just finished lunch, so he sorted all of his toys and picked Bear's favorites out. He made sure there was enough to eat, and he even cleaned up his room. Franklin wanted everything to be just right for his first sleepover. I wonder what Bear's favorite toys are. What else do you think they're going to do together? Bear was excited too. He couldn't decide what to bring and what he should leave behind. He filled an enormous bag with toys, books, a pillow, a sleeping bag, a puzzle, and a flashlight. He packed slippers, a toothbrush, and a snack, and he put his bunny on top of the bag. Every hour he asked if it was time to go yet. Looks like Bear is really excited to get to go over to Franklin's. After dinner, Franklin sat by the window waiting for his friends. Finally, Bear and his parents arrived. "Have a good time," they said. Bear gave them each a great big hug. "We're camping in the living room," said Franklin. "Ooh, I've never done that before," said Bear. He laid out his sleeping bag, and Franklin made a tent from a tablecloth. This is going to be so much fun. They're making a fort or a tent from their blanket and tablecloth. They played all of their favorite games. Before long, it was dark outside. "How about a campfire?" asked Franklin's father. "With marshmallows and hot dogs, too." Ooh, they look excited to have a real campfire. Franklin's father told Bear and Franklin what to do. They gathered sticks and twigs at the edge of the woods and helped to lay out the fire. They filled a bucket with sand and another with water. "I'll light the fire," said Franklin's mother. There was a crackle and sparks jumped into the air. "When I went to camp," said Franklin's father, "we used to sing while the fire was burning." He sang in a clear, low voice, and by the end of the song, Franklin and Bear had learned all of the words. The frogs in the pond were croaking, and the owl in the woods was hooting. What sounds do you hear in your backyard? Franklin and Bear toasted marshmallows and roasted hot dogs. Bear had 2 of everything. Then for a long time they sat quietly watching the stars. Franklin yawned and Bear rubbed his eyes. "Time to put out the fire and go inside," said Franklin's father. And they used the bucket of water and the bucket of sand to make sure the fire went out all the way. When Franklin and Bear were ready for bed, Franklin's parents gave them both a glass of water and a goodnight hug. "Sleep tight," they said, turning off the light. The two friends lay still for a moment, then Bear turned on his flashlight. "I don't feel so good," said Bear. "Did you eat too much?" asked Franklin. "No." A tear ran down his cheek. "What's wrong then?" "I missed my room." "Oh," Franklin said. "Bring your bed and come with me. We can sleep in my room," said Franklin. So Bear's starting to feel a little homesick, a little bit sad. Bear found a cozy spot and snuggled into his sleeping bag. After a moment, he turned on his flashlight again. "What's wrong now?" Franklin said. "My mother always says good night to my bunny," whispered Bear. So Franklin gave the bunny a hug. "Good night, bunny. Good night, Bear." Soon they were all fast asleep. The next morning, Franklin's father made them a special breakfast. Ooh, it looks like they are making muffins with some bugs in it. Have you ever had bug muffins for breakfast? "Did you have a nice sleepover?" asked Franklin's mother. "It was wonderful," said Bear. "Thank you. Next time, may Franklin come to my house?" Of course, Franklin's parents laughed, and Franklin did his own happy dance. "And Bear, don't worry about where I will sleep. I will always bring my own cozy bed with me," Franklin said, tapping his shell. The end. I've been thinking a lot about all the different things we used to play with our friends in our classroom. Some of you might be missing some of your friends right now. And while we can't have sleepovers like Franklin and Bear, you can draw pictures, you can make cards, or you can write letters to each other. So maybe in the next couple of days we can start making some letters or cards to send to each other, and we can be pen pals. Hope you're all doing well. Have a wonderful night. Bye.